First of all, it was a blowout, so I was actually in the game. I think this was Lou's first game coordinating, and we're up big late in the game, and Lou was probably getting a little stingy and hoping to continue a shutout. And I think he called cover two, but the signal from the sideline looked a lot like our cover zero, so I'm getting ready to blitz, and I realized late that it's supposed to be cover two, so I hauled ass back. And Lou from the sideline, I can just see it's just, what the are you doing? Just in true Lou fashion. So I got back to my deep half. They didn't hit a big completion on us, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Lou still is holding on to it, obviously. Yeah, we I don't think it was a shutout, but it was a lot too little, and he did not want to give up any more points.
So you didn't even give up a big play. I thought this was going to be.
I don't think it was. We'd have to go back and check the tape. I do know that at the end of the game, maybe it was third down or fourth down, really late in the game, and again, we were up big, and Lou actually dialed up a cover zero for us, which is kind of, you don't really do that at that point in the game, but he did not want to let Tennessee score, and I got my first sack. I think it was a walk-off sack, so last play of the game. Yeah.
That's a good segue into what we was talking about.
Yeah.
With the safeties, really have to work on his communication. I mean,
Yeah, it's a great.
One thing that
Yeah.
he kind of touched on.
Yes.
He got the improvement from last year.
Yeah, and in my opinion, that's where the position starts. You're the quarterback on the back end, right? You got to communicate, you've got to tackle well. But again, it all starts with communication. We've all got to be on the same page. We're running the show back there, and we have to communicate vocally. We've got to communicate visually, and we've got to be making sure that we're all on the same page. So if you're not on the same page, then you don't have a shot.
Do you feel like your time coaching the linebackers is going to be able to help you in a different way in coaching the safeties, maybe give you a little bit of a different perspective of what you can do with the safeties?
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously I've got to readjust my eyes a little bit. But, yes, I've been in the linebacker room for the last 5 years, so we're all obviously on a string defensively. We all work together. So, yes, I know exactly how Betch is coaching the linebackers to fit versus pin-pull scheme. I know where he's expecting the safeties to fit. So we're all working together, and I think that, if you would have asked me a couple years ago how valuable will this be, for you on the back end, I don't think I would have realized until, looking back and going through our evaluations or our self-scout and saying, okay, I know how Betch is coaching the front side linebacker to hit the pin and the pull and where we want the safety to fit.
Yeah. What stands out the most when you did the self-scout about Dax and Jordan?
Well, obviously, Dax is as athletic as they come on the back end. He's got the skill set. He's done a great job. He's made some really high plays or really, really great plays for us. Just needs some more consistency on the back end, right? He's just got to take that next step. I think we hit it. The first question is he's got to, we've all got to improve our communication on the back end. We've got to be leaders back there, be more vocal, and continue to run the show. And I think Dex has made strides, and I expect him to continue to make strides. Jordan as well. I think it's hard playing safety as a rookie, and I think that those guys both experience is the best the best thing for those guys. You can only learn so much in the meeting room. The best thing for those guys to do is to get out there and get playing, get some exposure. And I think that Jordan's got great football instincts. I think he's a good tackler. I think he can communicate, and I think that he's got some tools to work with.
It sounds like Dax's position for next season is kind of up in the air. Y'all kind of figure out where y'all want to put him. When y'all go through and figure out where he might fit best, what are some things you're looking at in terms of what he might be comfortable with and the traits that he has, determining where he's best fit for y'all moving forward?
Yeah, obviously that's a question better for Lou. He definitely has a very valuable skill set. He can run, he can cover, and those are things that are invaluable in this league. So I would say that you'd start with that, right? Those are things that are invaluable, and you just got to put him in the best position to make plays, whether that's at safety, whether that's at corner, nickel, I don't know, but at somewhere on the back end.
What was the process like for you to find out you were going to become the safety coach? Can you walk us through? Did Lou call you? Did Dak? How did that work?
Yeah, I think I knew Rob had a shot at the coordinating job in Colorado. He's very open with me about that, and I didn't know exactly what that meant for me. And sure enough, as soon as the thing popped for Rob, Zach and Lou both called me, and we're excited for me. So it was, obviously a dream come true, and to be able to stay with Cincinnati, it's been a place that kind of I've cut my teeth over the last few years. So I'm excited to be here.
Do you think it resonates with young players, especially when their position coach played in the league at that position?
Yeah, I do. When I first got into coaching in 2017 was at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh, and one of the first things he did, he kind of set expectations for myself, and we just talked, and he just talked about how, I'm a former player and he was a former player, and he always finds himself drawing back on his playing experiences, whether that's on the field or off the field, and I don't think I kind of realized at the time how, what exactly he meant, and then when I recently moved back to the safety room, I realized I can just put myself in their shoes. I can, think through techniques, think through pedal and brake, think through those different things. And then off the field, I feel like I can relate to these guys. Being in the NFL is not always the easiest thing. There's cut day. There's some different things that these guys have to go through that I don't think we all appreciate. And so just being able to be a guy that can relate to their situations and give them a new perspective is, I think, a valuable thing.
Anything from Harbaugh that you took from a coaching standpoint that you use, that you learned from him besides the player thing?
Yeah, I think that he's just always been good, positive energy. You know where you stand with Coach Harbaugh. Everything's black and white. He's very direct, and I always appreciated that about Coach. Yeah.
An example where you was as a player? Oh, no, you didn't play for him. Did you?
I didn't play for him. No, I just coached for him.
Yeah. How about as a coach? Did he give you a coaching point or anything when you break him in coaching?
I think that was the coaching point, was to always draw back on your playing experiences, and I do find myself doing that as I'm thinking through individual or putting together a teach tape. What are the things that are important, and so especially on the field, I do feel myself drawing on those experiences.
Lou referenced obviously the story. Had us ask you about that. Do you have any Lou stories that you want to share?
Maybe another time. Maybe we're at Low Millers later.
When they're on the job.
Yeah.
Anybody can appreciate what it is to be in leadership at the safety position. When you look at Dax, when you look at Jordan, what qualities do they possess to be a leader?
First of all, I think they're great people, right? And they work their asses off, and I think the leadership starts with that. Both those guys are as hard workers as you can ask for. And they're good players. They're very good players. And, obviously there's some things that they would be the first to tell you they want to clean up, but they can take their game to the next level. And when you're performing and when you're a good person, I think that's the first start to being a good leader. And then just the next step would be being more vocal, right? Demanding more of your teammates, being a great communicator on the field. And that's the area that I expect those guys to really improve.
Some would say reliability.
Sure.
One characteristic, one trait you have to have in that position is being reliable on and off the field.
Yes, no doubt. On the back end, there can't be any bust. A bust is a touchdown. So yeah, you've got to be a great communicator. You've got to be reliable. You've got to be dependable. You've got to be where you're supposed to be.
What's it been like seeing Jordan's growth over the last year and last season? It seems like he really starting to settle in.
Yeah.
Really reliable guy towards the end of the year, really starting to make some big plays.
Yeah, obviously he was just toeing the waters early. He was a guy that I was always excited about because he's got a lot of playing experience under a great coaching staff at Alabama. So you knew he was going to be a good player. It's just a matter of getting him the experience that he needs, and I think that he made some great plays. Right, I think maybe the Thursday night game against Baltimore was really one of his. That's one of those games that stands out for me where he made some nice tackles. He's a guy that can communicate, and like the rest of the safeties, though, there were some high highs and there were some plays that they'd all want back, and it's just a matter of playing with a little more consistency.